If you're going to Vietnam and you want to shop for clothes, here is your shopping guides in Ho Chi Minh City. Just for context, Vietnam is the third largest leading exporter of textile, and it generated around $32 billion last year and accounts for 6.4% of global textile and apparel. So with that in mind, a lot of people are traveling to Vietnam just to shop for clothes, and that includes me. I just got back from a Vietnam trip and I bought a bunch of clothes, so I thought of telling you where you can shop for clothes, prices, sizes, what you should know for when you are clothes shopping in Ho Chi Minh City. A quick disclaimer, I usually wear a size small to medium, like a 4 to 6 in the US, but when I'm in Vietnam, I wear a size large to extra large. A lot of clothing stores in Vietnam only carry a size small to large, sometimes extra large or free size, and that just means one size fits all. And even if they carry a large or extra large, they don't typically have all the sizes in all the clothing pieces that they sell. So not really size inclusive, but that's just how it is in Vietnam because the average body shape is on the smaller, petite size. They don't really carry extra inventory for all the sizes. So just be aware of that. But with that, let's get started with where to shop for clothing in Ho Chi Minh City. The two main areas that are known for clothes shops are District 1 and District 3. If you're a tourist, you're most likely going to stay in District 1 or Quận Nhất. That's where you have all the high-rises, the postal office, Nhà thờ Đức Bà, or Northern Dam Cathedral. That's where you're gonna find the luxury department stores. Some of the popular department stores are Takashimaya, Vincom, Union Squares. Those malls would carry like global brands like Nike, Adidas, New Balance, not so much local brands. And prices aren't typically cheaper for those global brands. You know, when you go to Europe, like designer handbags are cheaper than in the US, but it's actually not the same as in Vietnam. They're actually higher than in the US. And across from Takashimaya is Saigon Square, which is not really like a shopping mall. It's like a shopping center with like tons of different stalls and vendors selling clothing, accessories, shoes, just tons of things. This is where you'll find a lot of people negotiate prices, and allegedly this is also where you find a lot of knockoffs or imitations of popular designer items. I have to say it's very well known, but no one really stated. If you know, you know. The thing to know about Saigon Square is because each stalls are very small and compact, and they are filled to the brim with clothes and inventory and all the different sizes, you aren't able to try on the clothes. So if you're buying shoes or accessories, then that's not a problem, but if you're buying like shirts or pants, then you kind of have to eyeball your sizes and buy it without trying it on. Prices are mid-range, and depending on what you're getting, I personally don't like to shop here because I don't like to haggle prices, and I feel really intimidated to do that. And usually when you like an item and you ask them for a price, they usually start off really high, and then you would state a lower price and they would try to meet you in the middle, and that's typically still beneficial for them and they're still making a profit. So I don't know. It's up to you if you want to get an experience, but there's just tons of things. You would literally find anything you're looking for at Saigon Square. Now moving on to where to shop for Vietnamese local brands in District 1. First, I have the Clothes Apartment. No, that is not a shop name. It is literally a 3 stories apartment complex filled with mini shops of all the different local brands. The only way you can locate it on a map is by putting in the whole address, 42 Ton Thức Thep. It's right next to Takashimaya, so you can just walk right down the street. It has so many cute stores, and prices range around 200,000 dong to like mid-range 1 to 2 million Vietnamese dong. I got this cami from the shop Dawn, and it is just a cute lavender like tank top, but it has beautiful flower lacing. So cute for like 200,000-300,000 dong. There are stores that are catering to streetwear, casual, bohemian, glam, and also there's a thrift store up in like the 3rd floor. So definitely a wide range of prices and styles. Another place you can shop at is Central Market, and this is an underground shopping center with tons of stalls and booths, but the front part sells pretty similar things to Saigon Square, which is a lot of knockoffs. They're not really like local brands. But what I do want to talk about is at the end of the shopping center right next to a cafeteria, that's where you're gonna find all the local brands. There's maybe like 16 shops that carry trendy and cute pieces with prices. I got this linen skirt and one in white, and this is 220,000 dong, so maybe like $8-9. And also this cute pink top for 180,000 dong, and they're all from the brand Nang Closet, which is like sunny. So I got this top which feels so good. It's like so soft and buttery for probably like 250,000 dong. So prices in this area range around 200 to maybe 400,000 dong. Prices are very inexpensive, but the only thing is that there's not a lot of shops. Moving on from that place to the next place, they share the same name, but this is at 26 Lý Tự Trọng. This is right next to Nhà thờ Đức Bà, Notre Dame Cathedral, and it's also underground, but it carries much more trendy and youthful, almost teen clothing. I personally didn't get anything from here, but when I went with my cousin, prices is also very inexpensive, almost the same as the new playground, so 200 to 400, 500,000 dong. The only caveat I want to talk about when you shop at the new playground at both location is that each stores are more like booth and stalls, so although they're not gonna be filled and packed like Saigon Square, are still not gonna have space for you to have changing rooms. So if you really need to try on clothes, the associate would probably just ask you to wear it on top of what you're already wearing, or they might have a big sheet of fabrics where the associate's just going to hold it up so you can try on the clothes. So just be aware that when you're shopping here, just wear very tight clothings or just know your size so you don't have to try it on. Now moving on to local brands that have more money, a little bit more bigger, and they have their own storefront. This street is filled with stores for your shopping addiction, but it is at Nguyen Chai. On this street you're gonna find global brands like New Balance, Puma, Levi's, but you're also going to find local brands. So some of my favorites are Libe, Kate, and Lamin Apparel. Because these brands have their own storefronts, prices here will reflect that and be a little bit higher. It would range around 700,000 dongs to maybe 3 million Vietnamese dong, so around $30 to maybe $150. But you're getting proper changing rooms, you're getting mirrors, you're getting AC, you're getting a lot more sizes and a lot more products. Because this is a big street, you're gonna find a lot of stores that are catering to different styles. So like preppy, business casual, formal, minimalistics, sexy vibes. So just it's filled with everything you need. That is all for Quận Nhất or District 1. So if you're just going to stay in that district, then you can access all the locations that I just mentioned by walking. But if you have a little bit more time, or you can take a taxi to another district, then this is where I would shop at. And 20 minutes car ride from District 1 is Quận 3, District 3, and more specifically on the street Trần Quang Diệu. It's just filled with clothing stores that are local and also pretty inexpensive. Like I said earlier, these brands have storefronts, so prices will reflect that. So prices are around 300,000 dong, upward of like 900,000 dong. Let me show you what I got there. I got this cute white halter top. I think this is like 350,000 dong from the brand Ofra. I also got this cute floral dress from the brand Miu. It's just so fun to say it. 400,000 dong. And from the same brand, I got this black slip dress for 355,000 dong. So I would say prices are very affordable here. The thing about shopping here is a lot of these local brands already have stores in District 1. So you can kind of buy pieces in each locations. However, some stores don't carry the same items because District 1 is more expensive and have higher rent. They usually carry more expensive pieces to cover the higher rent costs. So with District 3, they will mostly carry more affordable pieces. So that is all for where you can shop for clothes. Now I'm going to tell you all the informations and details that is very important when you are going shopping. First is if you follow some of the fashion brands on social media and they have address listed, but when you get there, you don't see a storefront with their name. That is because there are stores that carry multiple brands, and those brands that you want to buy will probably just be on a rack in that specific store. Like I said earlier, having a storefront in Saigon is so expensive, so a lot of these brands will just send a few of their pieces to the store and display their item on a single rack. The second thing I want to talk about is payment, and majority of these stores, like 90% of these stores, will allow you to pay using a credit card, so Visa, MasterCard. Amex is 50/50. You can even Apple Pay, like tap to pay, but there will be the occasional 1 to 2 stores that only accepts cash. One of that being my favorite shops, which is 10,220, located in the Clothes apartment. This happens to me when I bought a dress that was 1,700,000 dong, and I had exactly 1,800,000 dong. And I also heard some other customers where they went to pay, but the cashier only accepts cash and they didn't have enough, so she told them to go downstairs and withdraw from an ATM. So you just want to make sure to have cash on hand when you go shopping. The third thing to know when you go shopping is the store policy, and this revolves around return policy. So there's no such thing as return. Okay, like I feel like if you're so used to the US return policy being so open, Vietnam is not the same. So most stores, actually I feel like all the stores will not accept refund. The best case is store will have an exchange policy where you can exchange for a different size within 3 days from the day printed on the receipt. So when you go to pay for the item, the cashier will make sure to tell you to check for any imperfections, any ripping, any holes, if the item is the correct size, because you cannot return and the exchange is limiting to a few days. So if you found out afterward, you can't exchange it. Fourth and last thing I want to talk about is if you have extra time, or if you know how to use Shopee, which is like an Amazon in Vietnam. A lot of these brands will sell their items online on Shopee. And so if you go in store and you like an item, you want to buy it, but they ran out of your size in store, then you could check on Shopee on their online shop and they might carry that size. And you could order it, have it shipped to your hotel even, and you can even pay cash at the time of delivery. So there's just so many ways you can shop for clothes in Vietnam, and I really hope that this video helps you prepare you before you head to Vietnam on where you can shop for clothes and what to know when you are clothes shopping. Enjoy your time shopping and let me know what you got, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye bye.